Breakdown is presented by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow.
Welcome into the Breakdown, a Week 3 edition of the Breakdown. Phil Perry, Ted Johnson, Patriots coming off a 15-10 win down in Jersey. Ted, ugly day, nasty weather kind of day. Was it the kind of day where the Patriots may have saved their season, though, Ted?
Absolutely, yes, Philip. They certainly did. If this team was to go 0-3, Katie bar the door, this season's over. But it is not over now. Going 1-2 makes a huge difference psychologically and, of course, in the standings.
Psychologically speaking, you had a quarterback who was a broken man at MetLife Stadium yesterday. He goes by the name of Zach Wilson. Another tough day at the office for him. He remains winless in his career against the Patriots. One of the biggest reasons for the struggles? He was feeling the pressure. The Patriots sacked Wilson 3 times and pressured him on nearly half of his dropbacks. That is an astronomical figure. Jabrill Peppers, what was the secret?
We just wanted to make it hard on him. Make him, if he's going to beat us, make him beat us by, reading our defense, making the right throws, tight windows in bad weather, tight coverage, good rush up front, just make it hard on him. But, we knew if we came in here and played our game, be fundamentally sound, communicate on the back end, no mental errors, no missed assignments, no missed tackles, we knew we'd be all right.
I thought those guys did a good job with kind of a mush rush of not letting me step up and get out. A lot of the escapes were kind of high in the pocket, which is not really what you want as a quarterback. And so I thought those guys did a good job of trying to maintain me, keeping in the pocket. So,
Zach, as a quarterback, how do you kind of prevent this thing from snowballing as one of the leaders of this team?
Yeah, the NFL is crazy.
It's time now for War Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, you heard Zach Wilson there. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide against this Patriots pass rush on Sunday afternoon. And you're actually going to break down the play where Wilson essentially sacked himself early on in this game. You've got off the line written at the top of the board. Tell us why.
Yeah, the Patriots did a good job of just creating confusion for Zach Wilson and really confusion for the offensive line for the Jets. Here's the thing. The Jets didn't know who was rushing, who was dropping, and the Patriots always do a good job pre-snap, Phil, of trying to create early confusion so at the snap of the ball, it doesn't look like it did pre-snap. So here's what you got, okay? You have 2 wide 9s by the outside linebackers. Matthew Judon, Josh Uche, they are wide for a reason. I'll get to that in a second.
And when you say 9, you're not talking about Judon's jersey number.
Correct.
You're talking about the technique that they're playing.
The gap that they're aligned in is really wide, okay? And they call them wide 9s, all right? That's for a reason. But you have Jawan Bentley sugaring this B gap, okay? Meaning he walks up into this B gap pre-snap, and then at the snap of the ball, he turns and opens up into coverage. So that holds the attention of the offensive lineman. So good job by Jawan Bentley. Jabrill Peppers, who had a beast of a game. He stems late, and he's kind of deep in his alignment pre-snap. And then at the snap of the ball, he comes up here, and he gets himself into the rush as along with these other 4 down linemen. So what they're also doing is they're stunting the line, okay? They've been stunting the line all day in this game with huge success. They stunt the line to the left. Josh Uche, he stunts as well. The tight end releases outside. He stunts off here. This brings, when he's wide like this, okay, he's wide in his alignment, it forces his tackle, who has him, to jump out to get him. So it creates space for the inside blitzer, who is Jabrill Peppers, coming on up here in the inside. So the D lineman slanting, pulls these linemen over here to block them. And here's the thing. In the hole meets Jabrill Peppers and the running back right here. Jabrill Peppers gets knocked over pretty good on this one, but it creates the feeling of pressure for the quarterback, feeling him coming from off the line and opening up. There's a big collision right here, and he feels the walls closing in with the wide 9s from the outside. So Zach Wilson, he feels pressure maybe when it's not even there because of the off-the-line pressure, the wide 9s creating space in the middle for Jabrill Peppers to work. He just falls down because he doesn't have anywhere to go because the outside is contained and the middle is all junked up with Jabrill Peppers blitzing up the middle. They did this all day long, breaking 5 rushers. The 5th rusher from off the line created a lot of confusion for Zach Wilson, and they were very effective getting home on their blitzes. Maybe not getting home, but creating confusion for him and making bad decisions.
This is Ted Johnson in his element, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about collisions, wide 9s, blitzing from the second level. We got magnets falling to the ground. All that pressure resulted in Zach Wilson falling apart on Sunday. It's time for my report card, friends. My report card is presented by the Massachusetts School of Law. And after their dominant effort Sunday, we're giving a pair of straight A's to the defensive line and the linebackers. They deserved it. The Patriots defense holding the Jets to just 10 points. And they even scored 2 themselves, which is where we begin with our first Technique of the night. Technique is presented by Shaw's. Shaw's is perfecting the art of fresh. We've got our Needham High Rockets of the week here. Joe and Trevor, Ted, you're going to break down this Matthew Judon safety late in the game, just over 2 minutes. One of the plays of the game, quite honestly, you saw MetLife Stadium basically empty out after that thing. How did that break down?
I love seeing Matthew Judon make a big play at the crunch time. All right, Trevor. He's going to play Mekhi Becton, the left tackle for the New York Jets. And Matthew Judon. I mean, this is their best offensive lineman going against the Patriots' best pass rusher. He's playing left tackle. And what the Patriots did in this game, Phil and everybody, is that they did a good job with their outside linebackers, Matthew Judon, Josh Uche, those guys, by having their alignment really wide, really wide. So it forces the tackles to kind of jump out to get them when they start their rush, and that creates a lot of space inside for the pass rushers, okay? And this is how Matthew Judon was able to get his sack, was by basically this wide 9 alignment right there close to the end zone for the safety. All right, Trevor, you ready? Oh, yeah. All right, Joe, here we go. On the snap, set, hike. So Mekhi Becton, he jumps out here because there's a wide alignment, and by doing that, here's Matthew Judon. He goes with the up and under. Right here, he goes up and under to get pressure on Mekhi Becton, and he gets all his weight going backwards. And then once Matthew Judon realizes he's even with the quarterback, that's when he decides to do the double move and the spin move. Boom. And he gets to the quarterback because he sets up Mekhi Becton all game long with that wide alignment, get him rushing up the field, and then creates that space to do the double move, spin move, and then get the sack. It was a great move, a great play at the right time for this defense, Phil.
Well, you broke down on the board the team effort to get after Zach Wilson, to bother him that way. Great individual effort there from Matthew Judon on that particular rush. Changed the game late in the game. So we talked about a couple of the sacks the Patriots had against Zach Wilson, but even when he was able to complete a pass, it usually didn't go very far. Wilson averaged just 4.36 yards per attempt on Sunday, a number that was boosted by a 29-yard completion on the final drive with the Patriots playing some prevent defense. So Ted's going to show us one of the reasons why the Patriots did a good job limiting big plays for the Jets. And we have Ben and Sean here with us now. By the way, Needham Rockets 3-0. They got a game against Walpole coming up. These guys are phenomenal. I think they're learning a little bit from Ted. They're getting great coaching at Needham, no doubt about that, but they're learning from the big guy here as well, taking it to the field. Ted, take us to yesterday. Tell us how they limited big plays. I'm actually going to play Zach Wilson on this one, and my Needham Rockets are going to be the Jets offense. You're going to be Jabrill Peppers, who had a monster game yesterday.
That's right. So Jabrill Peppers, who was all over the field, making plays all over the field, but this is one of the most impressive plays he had in the game, okay? And this is, you're always taught as a safety or middle linebacker, if you ever get a wide receiver, and my man Sean here is playing the wide receiver. He was the slot receiver, also known as Randall Cobb. In the game, Randall Cobb was playing this position. You never want a wide receiver who has a crack block on you, or has you has you as the blocker to block you, right? I mean, because of your size, your physicality. So I'm Jabrill Peppers. At the snap of the ball, he lines up over Randall Cobb, who he's got man-to-man, okay? And this is what happens at the snap. Watch this play, and it'll just pretty much show you what Jabrill's Pepper did all day. All right, here we go,
All right,
boys.
good luck here, Sean. All right, here we go. Set.
All right, so that's my guy. I got him man-to-man. He backs up. It's a swing screen to the running back, and here comes Jabrill Peppers. Boom! He just nails this guy, comes up and makes a play. He knocks Randall Cobb, who's a 13-year NFL veteran, on his keister, all right? And then gets off, disengages, and makes the play on the sideline. That's one of the best plays you'll see a safety make. He got him man-to-man. Once he reads that swing screen, he comes up and gets him, and he just takes Randall Cobb all the way back in the ground. Disengaged, makes a play. It was one hell of a play by that kid. Jabrill Peppers probably had the best football game I've ever seen him play yesterday in New York.
All over the field, coming downhill and using that physicality. You get all kinds of energy every single week from Jabrill Peppers. Sean, we're going to get you some ice. Thank you very much, my friend. Coming up at 6:30, tune in for our Bella Early Edition with Trenny Casey. We'll have much more on the Patriots win over the Jets. Up next, you've heard of a grand slam and a slam dunk, so What are we slamming into with the football lexicon? That's going to tell us when the breakdown returns. Well, we know Zach Wilson had nowhere to go on Sunday. Neither did his running backs. And the Jets lost to the Patriots. Breece Hall was held to a career-low 1.5 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook, not much better. He had the 7th lowest rushing average in his career, 76 games. All right, welcome back to the breakdown. Ted, I have to ask you, because we're constantly talking about whether or not this Patriots defense can be elite. And if they're elite, can they be the engine that drives this team to good things in 2023? But to be an elite defense, you've got to be able to stop the run, correct? You know a little something about stopping the run, don't you?
I do. That was my job many, many years ago, and I was pretty good at it. But yes, you got to stop the run. I've been saying this all summer long. The Patriots defense has to take their run defenses seriously. And so it was great to see, Phil, how good they did in this Jets game compared to what they did in the Miami game in week 2. They got to make sure they dominate against the run if they're going to be an elite defense this year.
Well, and I think one position that has really helped them stop the run has been this safety position. We just talked about Jabrill Peppers earlier in the show. How about Kyle Duggar? I mean, look at these two. Peppers has been even more impactful with his run defense this season than he has been against the pass. According to Pro Football Focus, Peppers is the very best safety in the NFL against the run. His teammate Kyle Duggar, number 4. You know, that's the kind of thing that makes Bill Belichick a very happy man. That's the kind of thing we need to break down, so let's head back to the drawing board right now. We're back out here for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, this Patriots defense on point on Sunday, really in all phases. You knew it was going to be a heavy run day, but the Patriots were able to shut that down for the Jets. You have slam left written at the top of the board. Tell us why this helped the Patriots run defense.
Yeah, Phil, so the plan for the Patriots defense was to play kind of a 3-4 front. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and then also to move the defensive line, stunt the defensive line, move the defensive line so that it confuses the offensive line. And they did this all game long. This was a play that they executed to perfection against the Jets, against the run and against the pass, but it was really effective against the run, okay? So this guy right here, number 5, Jabrill Peppers, had a humdinger of a game. He was all over the field. Where is he lined up? You need to know where he's at. Zach Wilson did not pay a lot of attention to him, and Jabrill Peppers made him pay. But on this play, slam left, that is a call, a command to your 2 down linemen, 1 linebacker here in a defensive lineman, to slant to the left. Slam left, slant to the left at the snap of the ball. All right? And then what you have right here is Jabrill Peppers comes down late. He's up high a little, to start pre-snap. He comes down late. All right? And then what he does, he gets himself involved. The Patriots blitzed their safeties, their strong safety, all game long, off the edge. And so the command from Jabrill Peppers to the D-line is to slant left. These guys do that. What these 2 tight ends do that have these 2 guys is they get them wash down, these 2 guys as they rush upfield. They wash them down, and there's a little lane right here for Jabrill Peppers to come up. And now this wide receiver who's responsible for blocking Jabrill Peppers, it has to wash him down. But Jabrill Peppers does a great job of slanting as well, because the contain is covered by Miles Bryant right here. So he doesn't have to go outside. He goes inside with these other guys. The wide receiver doesn't get hands on him. Jabrill Peppers, and it's a direct run to this side, by the way. The running back opens up, Dalvin Cook opens up this way, and he sees it all clogged up in the middle here because of these slants, and so he has to bounce it out. He bounces out right to Jabrill Peppers, who makes a shoestring tackle. If he doesn't make this tackle, Miles Bryant's there to make the play, but he does a great job of penetrating, getting across this wide receiver's face, making a tackle for a loss, and it was this kind of play that they did all game long, stunting their defensive linemen and bringing pressure off the edge with a strong safety, Jabrill Peppers. This guy had a great game. The Patriots had a good game plan against what was a bad offensive line for the Jets to stunt, move, create confusion, and there was a lot of negative plays in the backfield because of it.
I'm looking at this play, Ted, and I know this happened a lot in this game. 8 guys in the box. Patriots base defense. They're basically daring Zach Wilson to throw the football. The Jets decide to run it anyway. They averaged just 1.7 yards per carry on Sunday. Okay, enough about the defense. We haven't talked much about the Patriots' offense in this one. A bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance from them, if you will. The Patriots moving the ball early and often, but when they were trying to put the game away late in the second half, they struggled. The Patriots forced to punt on their final 6 drives, including back-to-back drives when Mac Jones targeted Juju Smith-Schuster and couldn't connect on third down on 2 separate occasions. This brings us to our next technique. Technique is presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. Sean is back out here with us, as well as Joe and Ben. We're going to be the Jets here again. We're going to be the Patriots. We're the Patriots offense, Sean and Ted are going to be the Jets. And we're going to break down this second incompletion to Juju Smith-Schuster. It just looks like, Ted, not a lot of chemistry between these two guys. This was your big offseason signing. Smith-Schuster was. Late in the game, you go to him twice, you can't connect. And it looked like the Jets did something on that final attempt, 3rd and 3, late in the game, to mess with the Patriots' plan there. They had a man beater called, is my understanding. They thought they had man coverage, but they didn't quite have man coverage. Explain how this one broke down.
Yeah, so this is a key play, 3rd down and 3 in the game, and the Jets did what the Patriots like to do to teams, all right? So they comboed this. They played in and out. They didn't just stay with their guy. They created maybe a little surprise that the Patriots clearly weren't ready for, okay? And so here we go. Sean and I have the 2 Patriots, and Joe is Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, sorry. Joe is Kendrick Bourne. Ben is Juju Smith-Schuster.
My bad.
This is Juju right here.
Thank you. Ben is Juju Smith-Schuster, okay? And so they're trying to get him the ball. On 3rd down all day, they were trying to get him the ball, especially late in the game. And this is how the play was executed in the game by the Patriots. So we have these 2 guys man-to-man, and they're expecting us to stay man on man, man on man. And this is what happened, all right, guys? All right, here we go. Set, hike. They come out, and they switch it. The Jets switch it, and he runs a vertical, and he's got nowhere to go, and so the ball's way outside and out of bounds, okay? Now come back. Here's the thing. The Patriots said they weren't expecting this, but in the past, with Jacoby Myers was here, and when things are really humming, the Patriots have answers to everything teams do, okay? And this is probably what should have happened. If Juju Smith-Schuster, who's in this position, maybe he's been here longer, more comfortable, he sees the plays the same way the quarterback does, this is probably what he would have done instead. Do the same play, guys. Now the defensive guys, they have man-to-man on these guys, but watch the leverage point. If I'm going to be inside leverage on this guy, this is what Juju Smith probably should have done. All right, here we go. Set, hike, same thing. Tries to get picked. Oh, they switch off, and instead of running a vertical, he breaks it off to an out route for a gain of 4 yards, 1st down, move the chains. Probably in the past. Probably if they've been working more together, the quarterback and the receiver, Juju Smith, this play probably gets completed. They probably get a 1st down, and they continue to drive. But the communication wasn't there. The play's busted, and it was a no gain.
And maybe with time, those guys eventually get on the same page, and you end up seeing more of those 3rd down conversions. But that was definitely an area where the Patriots struggled yesterday. These guys aren't struggling right now. These Needham Rockets, thank you guys so much. Trevor, Joe, Ben, Sean,
guys.
Thanks for being with us, and good luck this weekend against Walpole. All right, much more coming up on the breakdown. But first, have to tell you about Quick Slants. Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Tune in. Tommy Curran is sharing his takes on the Patriots as they get ready to visit them Cowboys. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Up next, Pharaoh Brown gets a little piece of the action, quote unquote, play action that is. We're breaking out the Monday Night Spotlight when the breakdown returns.
Matt, walk through the touchdown pass to Pharaoh Brown.
Yeah, it was just a little play action play, and we kind of knew it was going to work, and he made a great catch. And we worked on that in practice, and it worked in the game, so that's what we want.
Why did you know it was going to work?
What did you say?
Why did you know it was going to work?
I'm going to keep it to myself.
Ooh, little secret. Mac Jones not letting us in on that secret, but these numbers are plain to see. Monday Night Spotlight is presented by TouchView Interactive Display Panels, available at the Oakers Company. Mac Jones has been outstanding when using play action this year, completing 75% of his passes for 2 scores, including that one to Pharaoh Brown, and a passer rating of 132.3. Not bad. That rating more than 50 points higher than when Jones doesn't use play action, which has been the case 85% of the time. So, Ted, are the Patriots going to lean into play action a little bit more, or is the fact that they really weren't able to run the football through those first 2 weeks, is that the explanation as to why they haven't used it more already?
I think, look, there's no real good explanation for me to not be using it. I'll be honest with you, because you saw how effective it was in this game. And you know what? That touchdown pass to Farrell Brown, Phil, you saw Mac Jones up under center. Where he's been mostly in shotgun. So I love seeing him under center. I think he functions the offense really well out of under center. But you got to get that running game going. It's not a running league. I get it. But how you control a game and how you manage the clock is with a dominant running game. So you got to have that if you're going to complement your passing game and in play action game. You got to have a run game.
And you know what's interesting to me, Ted, is you don't even have to be all that effective with your run game for that play action game to
be committed
work.
to it.
Just commit to it. For instance, with 13 personnel, so 3 tight ends on the field, that's the personnel package they used on that Pharaoh Brown touchdown. Before that score, they had used it and run out of it 7 different times for 15 total yards. Now, that includes a 10-yard holding penalty, but Ted, the story is you don't have to be all that impactful with those runs. You just have to continue to hammer them with it, make them respect it.
You got to. I mean, and you know what? And you lull them to sleep, and they just thought, well, it's the same personnel. They have, they're going to run the football. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to fake it, and then we're going to throw it over your head. That's what you do. That's how powerful and effective play action can be when you at least commit to the run game.
Maybe some deception, maybe a little play action, maybe some draws and screens against this Cowboys pass rush, right, Ted?
Oh, you better keep that pass rush guessing. You better all night long. You better do a lot of draws and screens to keep them off balance, Phil.
We'll be right back here next Monday, breaking it all down. Be with us. See you then.